Hey, Brian, it's good to see you.
Hey, Michael, how you doing this morning?
Fantastic, man. We're looking forward to seeing you in San Diego for the Excellence in Laundry event. This is May 9 through 11, everybody, in San Diego at the fabulous Rancho Bernardo Inn. Like you and I are professional conference attendees.
Right.
What's the benefit of attending a large event?
I like to say that I don't get smarter sitting behind this desk. You need to be out in the field, engaging with your peers, engaging with experts, and one of the things we've done with excellence over the years, and I'll certainly include you in this, is try to find the best in the world. Whatever that discipline is. So whether it's sales and marketing professionals, or we've got a couple of other great speakers that by any definition are world class, and so you need to meet your peers, other people that are doing what you're doing, and they're going to learn from you, and you're going to learn from them. But also exposes you to people, in front of the microphone that you're not going to see anywhere else. This is an investment in doing more this year and beyond with the ideas and the contacts and connections that you make in an event. How many times you come back from an event and you were kind of on the fence, and you come back and say, "Man, am I glad I went to that event?"
In fact, a lot of times on the airplane back, I'm like, I can't believe I was debating whether to go.
Right.
You never know who you're going to run into that's having the same problem as you or had the same problem as you and now has solved it. And these conversations happen in very interesting places. They happen in buffet lines, they happen at the bar. And I hear you've got an open bar for this event.
We
Kudos.
do, yes.
They even happen in the restroom because you just run into people that you might not normally bump elbows with. And to have that kind of access is super important. You mentioned that you have these world-class speakers, four of them in particular for this one, and one of them is out of this world speaker. It's
Literally,
Cady
yes.
Coleman, the astronaut,
Hmm.
and she's going to talk about leadership skills, right? I mean, how often do you get a chance to meet somebody that has this kind of perspective?
And then when you have an astronaut like Cady Coleman, who's flown space shuttle missions and been on the International Space Station, I've seen her presentation. It's just incredible. A lot of our members, Michael, were asking about direction on succession planning and exit strategy. So we went out and found the guy, Donald Cooper, who's been doing this for decades and decades, and seen it all, done it all, especially for family businesses. And so that's going to be a great presentation. But he's also agreed to stick around and do some one-on-ones with our members.
Oh,
So if you
wow.
got some questions about that, he's going to take as many of those as he can. And your presentation, I'm looking forward to. I'll let you talk a little bit more about that. But again, you're best in class in what you do. And we've also got a little bit of fun while we're at it. We've got Alpana Singh. She's the first ever female master sommelier in the world, wine expert. That test has a pass rate of like 0.3%, which is, only trivia unless you understand her entrepreneurial story, where she's turned that into restaurants and a PBS television show and other things that she's done to, kind of leverage that expertise. And so, again, this is not something you're going to find down the street on a random Wednesday night. You got to come to Excellence to, get in front of this kind of quality content.
I was thinking that your laundry experts can show Alpina how to get red wine out of her clothes.
She will regret asking that question at the cocktail party.
We're mired in this Succession show that's on HBO,
Mm-hmm.
and I know a lot of the members of the Coin Laundry Association are family setups.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch that show and you don't concern yourself with the succession, knowing what you know about your family, you're so with succession planning, I think about things like, well, but if I have succession planning, that means I can go on vacation without having to worry about the place falling apart because there's somebody behind me to pick up the pieces if something should go wrong. And so many small business people have to limit their time away because of this. I also think about retiring early if I have succession planning or even on time. We need to start taking a longer view of what we're doing. And one of the best ways to do that is to get out of the house, get out of the office, and come to a big event like this.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to come back with a broader perspective, great inputs, and you know, um, One of the things that I just gave a talk about this in Boston a few weeks ago about kind of the life cycle of a laundromat. And it's really pinned on the fact that, in my experience, most laundromats sell when they're worth the least. And who wants to end up in that scenario? So, you need to be able to plan over the long term to make sure when you either have to cash out or want to cash out, you're in a position to get maximum value. So it's not even strictly in the sense of, well, who's going to take over the reins when I retire, but it's also more about that exit strategy is how am I going to maximize the value?
I'm going to help people establish customers for life. It's based on the old Carl Sewell book, Customers for Life, and how when you pull somebody in, you could have a target value, a dollar value. And it's not all about money, of course. You want to serve people. But if you serve people well, it's worth something to you in the business. What happens when you have less customer churn? When the average amount of money a person spends with you in a year goes up 10% or 15%? What happens when you have word of mouth clicking like clockwork and people are coming to you, not just customers, but employees and potential vendors? I mean, you're literally solving problems before they happen when you can nail this relationships thing. Let's talk about the resort quick, man. You got a world-class place here, the Rancho Bernardo Inn. And by the way, everybody, if you're listening to this video or watching and you want to peruse while we chat, you can get to the conference link at the Coin Laundry site.
Yeah, that's simply coinlaundry.org. And we've got a landing page there for excellence in laundry. And you can get all the detail on the speakers we just talked about, all the nuts and bolts, and we've got a dynamite rate, and it's just a beautiful property. San Diego in May, that's about as good as it gets.
Right.
And I think people are really going to enjoy it. I know a lot of spouses and partners are going to be tagging along to enjoy that couple of days in the sunshine.
You know what I do when I go to these conferences? I go early and I stay late. And the reason is I've already bought the plane ticket. I want every second of value from this program. I don't want to breeze in late. I don't want to miss the opening reception. I want all that face time I can get. And when I'm in there, I work the room, man. Another thing I'm going to be teaching your people about in real time, they'll be using my techniques for connecting with each other by the time I'm done speaking. This Rancho Bernardo Inn is amazing. I've spoken at over 2,000 events in my career. And I am so looking forward to this place. It's world class. I know you've negotiated a killer rate. So for those uninitiated, when Brian negotiates, he's a really good negotiator. He gets what's called a conference rate. And it happens to be half as much as the normal rack rate. And I don't know the exact dollar value, everybody. I just know how the game is played. If you stayed at the Rancho Bernardo Inn in high season, you would pay twice as much. And he got the resort fee waived. I think you got parking waived. Did you tell me that?
Yeah, parking's waived, resort fees waived. So yeah, you get all the amenities, the Wi-Fi, the free
We mentioned the
parking.
open bar.
We did mention the open bar earlier. Now at our reception and our dinner, don't go wandering into the hotel bar and expect them to start pouring you freebies. But
you mean we can't leave the premise and go to downtown San Diego and mention your name at any place, any establishment?
You can mention my name. It's just not going to get you too far.
I am so looking forward to this. I hope that all of your Coin Laundry Association members register. Do not think of this as some sort of price or cost. It's an investment. And if you do this, and I want a personal invitation, you all want to learn a few of my techniques in advance, subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. And in 2 minutes, in a 2-minute video, I will show you how to use these techniques. You use them as soon as you get off the plane, as soon as you enter the property, you start using them with people. And you start collecting on this great investment.
I'm going to make sure you get your money's worth. One of my favorite parts of the job is not only being the convener, but also being the connector, making sure that you meet the people that you need to meet and get maximum value.
I'll make that same promise. You register for this event, you come find me. I'm going to be there on Monday, a day early. I told you I'd come early. You find me, we'll grab coffee or a drink or something, and I will give you some personal time at this great event, just so we ratchet up the value for you. That's how serious we are about you collecting on this. Brian, I look forward to seeing you in San Diego, man.
Can't wait. Thanks again, Michael.